like to call the meeting to order, please. Roll call.
Mayor Yanish.
Here.
Councilmember Reese.
Here.
Christensen. Here. Anderson.
Here.
Amon.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Dockin.
Here.
Fagerly.
Here.
DeBleek.
Here.
9 present, 0 absent.
Would you all please stand and as we say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any proposed additions or deletions to the agenda tonight? If not, hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve the consent items?
So moved.
Second. The motion has been made and seconded to approve the consent items. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
Mr. Mayor,
That motion carries.
I didn't need to pull any minutes, but I did want to speak about the Housing and Redevelopment Authority minutes.
Sure, go right ahead.
Just to advise the council that we do have a shared director. She's been in operation since August, for the last 3 months. So we did reduce our expenses for our director. Jill Bankston is now the shared director from the county HRA and the city HRA, and things seem to be going smoothly. That was it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I would also like to recognize Troop 224 being here, and I understand that you are citizens in the process of your merit badge. Am I right with that? And if we have time, I'd like to recognize each of the boys that are here. Austin Bredesen, Parker Smith, Kadeen, am I saying that right? Caden Kessler Gross, Jacob Buchanan, Ethan Haynes, okay. Cody Strom, Brady, how do I say that? Jaden, thank you. John Skindlin, Sam Blomkist, Colin Christensen, Stephen Vera, Deshaun Russell, Lewis Russell, and Joshua Russell. Ian Isaacson, Alan Mangan, and Nathan Lawrence. Did I miss anyone? And who are you? Kelvin, nice to see you. Anyone else that I missed? And the leader is Mike Gross and Chuck Bredesen. And thank you for coming. Hope that you will find some of this interesting and take it back with you to earn your merit badges. Thank you. With that, we'll move right into the scheduled hearings. Bruce, do you want to take that for us?
Mayor Yanish, members of the council, tonight we need to discuss and take action on a proposed rezoning of property on the west side of Independence Place. The property address is 1300 Willmar Avenue Southeast. It's been a single-family residence for years, and a person is interested in converting it to a counseling center. That necessitates a rezoning from R2, 1 and 2 family residential, to a limited business commercial classification. The proposal is consistent with the comprehensive plan and was approved by the Planning Commission at a recent meeting. It's a recommendation of staff that the ordinance be adopted, assigned a number, and published.
Thank you, Bruce. Is that your motion?
It's a hearing. You have to open to the public.
Okay, I'm sorry, the hearing is open. Is there any discussion from the public? Hearing none or seeing none, I will close the hearing. Thank you, Bruce. Open to the council.
Mr. Mayor, introduce the ordinance, give it a number and publish.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded to introduce the ordinance, assign a number, and publish it. Discussion? Ron, did you have a question?
No. I was going to make the same motion. Mr. DeBleek.
This is a resolution, so roll call.
Councilmember Reese.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Dockin.
Aye.
Bagley.
Aye.
DeBleek.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 nays.
That motion carries. Kevin, did I close the public hearing?
You did very well, sir.
Thank you. At this particular time, we'll have the presentation from the Charter Commission. Sean?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, my name is Sean Meskey. I'm the current chair of the Charter Commission, and most of the commission is here tonight. I got to do a shameless plug. I'm actually a Cub Scout master, and I'm missing that right now, and I'm a Cub Scout master of 224, the same as these Boy Scouts, so I know many of them, and it's nice to see them here. It'll be 3 years ago in March, the Charter Commission was formed with the task of revisiting the charter. We are approaching the end of that process. Last time I was before you, we asked that an ordinance be written. That has been written, and now it has been proofed, and it's ready for your consideration. I would just highlight a few of the things if you wanted to flip through with me. The first one, we did add a preamble. Most charter cities sort of see the charter as like a constitution, and most of them have a preamble, so we found one that we were all very comfortable with. The section 2, we have never claimed our form of government. We have done that, and using the language that is out there of weak mayor, strong or council. Many people say strong council. That's implied with that terminology there. The next ones are fairly straightforward. I wanted to highlight on just some of them that had been controversial in the past or are some significant changes. The next one I have is on page 5. We added the description for the city administrator, and I think the vast majority of that is taken directly out of the ordinance that created that. The next page, we also did the same for the city attorney, so they are both memorialized within the charter. The next piece that we have talked about in the past and had some debate on is on page 8. The top of the page would be, which would be section 10 in your document, subdivision 2 for rules and journal. It does read that the council shall adopt the Minnesota Mayor's Association Rules of Order for City Councils. We did add that in. That is a change that we talked about at great length. That is an amendable set of rules, and there were basically, that was before, as you see, the stricken language that the council in the past had the prerogative to adopt its own rules in order of business. And when there isn't one, we thought there should be a default, and that is what we've placed in there. The other part, since the city administrator was spelled out, there was a revision within the powers and duties of the mayor, and you'll see those on page 9. Continuing on to page 10, I think they conform with what is currently being practiced within our city. The other part on page 12, section 20, that is the retention of the Park and Leisure Services Board. We thought it was important to maintain that, and we've had some discussions about that in the past. Then one that we've talked about a lot are on page 13 and 14, the subdivision 5 under both the Rice Memorial Board and the Municipal Utilities Commission. Under subdivision 5 on both of those, the overriding power of the council. That is one where, if you recall, about a year into our work, there was a request to actually strike veto authority. That is no longer, has not been the position of our commission for the last year and a half. But moving the veto authority from 5 to 6, which puts it the same as also the other mentions of veto throughout the document. And I think that would pretty much summarize it. And with that, I would ask that the ordinance is put forward for a public hearing.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded and to set the public hearing for December 5th.
I believe it, yeah.
We believe that we'll make the publication.
We believe we can make that deadline and publication on time if you set it for December 5th.
Okay. Or December 5th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Is there any discussion first? I'm sorry.
Since this is our constitution of the city, have we been able to, or have we posted this on the website for review prior to the hearing, or can we do that? Is that possible?
I think we can post it on the website. And such, I mean, we have not done it to date because we needed to come before the council to see if there was if you were going to set the hearing, but we can put the information on the website.
Beneficial.
And it will also be published in its entirety, I believe. I mean, it's a requirement that it be published in its entirety as well, so it will be published in its entirety in the local paper as well.
Christensen?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you, Sean. Is your intention that it be presented as a whole then, and not in pieces or piecemeal sections at all?
Yeah, we discussed that as well, and we were advised that they probably should all be put together instead of separating, because each one would have been a separate publication, public publication, if I was correct on that.
Because there are 3 or 4 ones that I don't agree with, and there's some of the changes. And just a reminder, that it does take all 8 council members to vote for this to go forward. And if 1 or 2 or 1 or more don't agree with it, then you have the option of sending it to the public for a vote. My question would be, when would that be? Would that be for next year? I assume it would.
It must be a general. So we could have a special, but I don't know if we want to incur that cost, and then it must be a general. You cannot go to the primary.
Okay, thank you.
So that would be next year, according to this.
November, I believe, 5 of 2000.
Okay. We have had a motion and a second, and we've had the call for those in favor. Councilman Docken?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What is the Charter Commission looking to the public for? Verbal comments, written comments, or what?
I don't know if we're looking for any necessarily specific comments at this time. I know we've pursued pretty much all the stakeholders involved with the charter directly at some point and did interviews up in the past. We're open to any comments anybody would have on it at that point, at the hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So the hearing is set, then. There's been voted on and stuff already, so the hearing is set for December 5th at 7 p.m. here.
Okay. We have the Truth and Taxation hearing that night also. So the time at this point I'll set subject to what we've already advertised for the Truth and Taxation hearing.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, thanks.
At this time, we'll move into the public hearing. Our open forum, council. Has anyone signed up?
Nobody signed up, Mr. Mayor, when I looked earlier. Josh, anybody sign up on the flipboard? No one's there.
Okay. That being said, we will move right into the Finance Committee report for November 14th. Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The first item on our agenda was public comment, and there was no one present to address the committee that evening. Second item has to do with workers' comp insurance for the mayor and council. Clerk Halliday presented information to us regarding workers' compensation coverage for the city's elected officials. Several years ago, the city purchased a personal accident policy to cover the mayor and council, but this type of insurance is no longer offered through the League of Minnesota Cities or anywhere else. Consequently, the only recourse is to obtain coverage for elected officials under the city's workers' compensation program, and that's through the League of Minnesota Cities. It's estimated that the total cost for all 9 of us elected officials is $174. Following discussion, there was a motion made, seconded, and passed, and I would introduce a resolution requesting that the elected officials be covered under the city's workers' compensation program through the League of Minnesota Cities.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to introduce a resolution requesting that the elected officials be covered under the city's workers' compensation program through the League of Minnesota Cities. Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Christensen.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Amon.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Dockin.
Aye.
Fagerly.
Aye.
DeBleek.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 nays.
That motion carries.
The next item has to do with the airport terminal building. Staff presented the proposed airport terminal building repairs budget, and that's in the amount of $29,465, and that reflects actual bids received for FAA-required winterization of the office area and hangar building at the old airport site. Following discussion, there was a motion made, seconded, and passed, and I would introduce a resolution adopting the airport terminal building repairs budget as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adopt the, or to introduce a resolution adopting the airport terminal building repairs budget as presented. A discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Anderson.
Aye.
Amon.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Dockin.
Aye.
Fagerly.
Aye.
DeBleek.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 nays.
That motion carries.
The next item was the as-bid 2011 street improvement budget. Staff presented the proposed 2011 street improvements budget, and that's in the amount of $2,402,000, and that reflects actual bids for projects 1, street work, number 5, street lights, and the additional project on 19th Street Northwest. Project 2, which is 7th Street, Project 4, which is path work, and Project number 6, our work remains at the engineer's estimate. Following discussion, there was a motion made, seconded, and passed, and I would introduce a resolution adopting the 2011 street improvements budget as presented.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to introduce the resolution adapting the 2011 street improvements budget as presented. Discussion?
Just a quick question, Mr. Mayor.
Sure.
I assume that bridge work is the First Street Bridge?
I believe so.
Okay.
It is.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Amon.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Dockin.
Aye.
Fagerly.
Aye.
DeBleek.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
Anderson. 8 ayes, 0 nays.
That motion carries.
The next item were as-bid street repair improvement budgets to project number 1103. Staff presented the proposed street repair improvement budgets in the amount of $352,000 for project 1103, and that reflects actual bids. Following discussion, there was a motion made, seconded, and passed, and I would introduce a resolution adopting the street repair improvements budget for project 1103 as presented.
Second.
That motion has been made and seconded to introduce a resolution adopting the street repair improvements budget for project 1103 as presented. Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Dockin.
Aye.
Fagerly.
Aye.
DeBleek.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Amon.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 nays.
That motion carries.
Another similar item, this was an as-bid improvement project for project number 1112. Staff presented the proposed street improvements budget for project 1112, and that's in the amount of $136,500, and that reflects actual bids. If you'll remember, temporary financing for this project will be through the Public Improvements Revolving Fund until bonds can be issued for that in 2012, and at that time, the Public Improvement Revolving Fund will be reimbursed for the amount expended. Following discussion, there was a motion made, seconded, and passed, and I would introduce a resolution adopting the street improvements budget for Project 1112 as presented.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to introduce a resolution adapting the street improvements budget for Project 1112 as presented. Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Dockin?
Aye.
Fagerly?
Aye.
DeBleek?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Christensen?
Aye.
Anderson?
Aye.
Amon?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 nays.
That motion carries.
Our next item had to do with the 2012 mayor's proposed budget. We were reminded that the Finance Committee will be meeting next Monday, November 28th at 5 o'clock, and that will be here, and that will be televised. At that time, the committee will be recommending the council certify the proposed levy and adopt the 2012 budget at the following council meeting in December. That was for information only. We had some questions that came up about the budget. Councilmember Fagerly inquired on the status of the council's concerns regarding the HRA's agreement with the city for exclusion from special assessments, and staff is working on that to determine if the agreements could be amended with a sunset. Councilmember Johnson requested a cost summary of city vehicles used by department heads for travel to their homes and out of town, and he also requested information regarding the state's changes in the homestead credit on property values. Anticipated and historical information will be presented at our November 28th meeting, which will reflect LGA, tax levy, and the market value credit reductions from 2007 through 2012. Councilmember Dockin requested a history of transfer payments from the municipal utilities and Rice Hospital for that meeting as well. Mayor Yanish asked for the entire council to make sure we review all aspects of his proposed 2012 budget and request input at the November 28th meeting. That was all of the business for the evening. Unless there's questions, I would move to file these minutes.
Second. A motion has been made and seconded to file the minutes of the Finance Committee dated November 14th, 2011. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That motion carries. And from there, we'll move into the Public Works Safety Committee report for November 15th. Councilman Reese.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The first item was an amendment to the engineering services agreement with Donahue and Associates for our Western Interceptor, and this is additional fees associated with the design of a trunk storm sewer, administration of the bidding process of the Western Interceptor, and preparation of a clean water revolving fund loan application to the Minnesota Public Facilities Authority. Josh Halverson from Donahue and Associates explained the 54-inch trunk storm sewer line. It would be the first phase in increasing the capacity of the city's storm sewer system in that area. The installation of the Western Interceptor involves construction within 30th Street Southwest right-of-way from 19th Avenue to 30th Avenue Southwest. He explained that the roadway is being opened up and that this is an opportune time for the city to install this larger trunk line, and it would be added to the bidding documents as an alternate, and the cost for their services is $40,030. There would also be $10,365 to prepare the loan application and $15,650 for bidding administration. So I would introduce a resolution that we amend the contract with Donahue and Associates in the amount of $66,045, revise the budget accordingly, and authorize the mayor and city administrator to sign on behalf of the city.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to amend the contract with Donahue and Associates in the amount of $66,045 and to revise the budget accordingly, and authorize the mayor and city administrator to sign on behalf of the city. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Fagerly.
Aye.
DeBleek.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Amon.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
And Dockin.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 nays.
That motion carries.
The city has solicited and received quotes for repairing leaks in the city hall roofs. There's 3 different roofs. The existing roof is about 20 years old. There were 2 quotes, and they had been reviewed by our Public Works Director, Holly Wilson, and also our building official, Randy Cardell. And they recommend that we accept the quote of West Central Roofing based on the type of materials used and the technology involved. So I would introduce a resolution to accept the quote from West Central Roofing in the amount of $55,434.06 and authorize the mayor, city administrator to enter into an agreement on behalf of the city.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to accept the quote of West Central Roofing in the amount of $55,434.06 and authorize the mayor and city administrator to enter into an agreement on behalf of the city. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember DeBleek.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
Christensen.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Amon.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Dockin.
Aye.
Fagerly.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 nays.
That motion carries.
The city has received notice from MnDOT for the renewal of an existing agreement with the Commissioner of Transportation that appoints the DOT as agent for the city of Willmar when accepting federal aid funds. The agreement covers all federally funded projects within the city. Staff is recommending acceptance of the agreement. A motion was made by Councilmember Fagerly, seconded by Councilmember Christensen to accept the agency agreement and authorize the mayor and city administrator to sign on behalf of the city. Questions were raised specifically by Councilmember DeBleek under paragraph, or in regard to the paragraph under Section 2C, number 4, relating to payment and the city's need to enter into this agreement rather than working directly with the federal government. And Councilmember Fagerly withdrew his motion, and staff was directed to obtain more information, and this will be brought back to Public Works at a later date. So that's for information only. At the request of Councilmember DeBleek, Chief Weifels presented the committee statistics relating to the incidents that took place over a 48-hour time frame on October 29th and 30th. At that time, there were 91 different incidents, and Chief Weifels reviewed response times of both dispatch and officers, along with the number of officers scheduled during those time periods. And the committee discussed the incidents and level of staffing, and this is for information only. So I would, that's the end of the minutes. I would move to file the minutes unless there's questions, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. The motion has been made and seconded to file the minutes of the Public Works Safety Committee report dated November 15th. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed say no. That motion carries. We'll move into the Community Development Committee report dated November 17th, 2011. Councilman Dockin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had a fairly lengthy meeting, a lot of important information. I'm hoping that the public will go to our website and read especially the memo of understanding between the FAA and the City of Willmar. Also, item number 4, which deals with John Supper Club, that's a very lengthy document also. And then item number 5, which is the downtown planning. I think you'll find that very interesting. Item number 1 was public comments, and it was for information only, and there were no public comments offered. Item number 2 is FAA Memorandum of Understanding, and it was a motion. Staff presented a proposed memorandum of understanding between the FAA and the City of Willmar regarding necessary steps for the land release. The committee discussed at length the milestones required for completion of each phase of the land release. The committee expressed concern about the clauses in the agreement that could further delay the process or allow the FAA to terminate the agreement. Staff indicated that the memorandum of understanding had been under consideration for some time, and it was the opinion of staff that it was reasonable and workable. And following much discussion, there was a motion made and seconded for the following recommendation: to approve the memorandum of understanding and authorize the mayor and city administrator to execute the document. I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve the memorandum of understanding and authorize the mayor and his administrator to execute the document. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That motion carries.
Item number 3 was the mobile home parks, and this is again for information only. The committee briefly discussed the continued efforts by park management to improve the conditions in the park. Once again, the park management was unable to attend this meeting. Item number 4, John Supper Club building, again for information only. Staff presented the most recent inspection report on construction progress at the John Supper Club building. The inspection report concluded by offering an opinion by staff that it was doubtful the project could be finished by December 31st, 2011, which is the deadline set by the council for completing the rehabilitation project. And Mr. Mayor, I wonder if Mr. Peterson would give us a brief rundown of what we discussed at the meeting on John Supper Club.
We could certainly ask Mr. Peterson to do that.
Mayor Yanish, Councilmember Dockin, members of the council. Staff continues to take a look at this building on a regular basis. I know the fire chief and the building official are in there at least every other week. Some progress is being made. The structural progress in the lower level is commendable. They're not moving very quickly on the interior finishes. I think as spelled out in the inspection report, we still have no evidence that a plumbing plan has been submitted to the state of Minnesota for review. That's a requirement on a commercial building like this. Staff does not do the plumbing review. That's done by the state of Minnesota. We're just not very comfortable that this thing's going to get done in 30 days or 40 days, I guess, as we're looking at today, and just put the council on notice that come January 1st, you're going to have to make a decision as to where to go with it, and would certainly hope that Mr. Kudrowski continues to make some decent progress on that building.
Thank you, Bruce. Item number 5, downtown planning. This is for information again, too. Staff brought the committee up to speed on efforts to organize and conduct downtown planning public input sessions. As planned scheduled, event announcements and preliminary agenda for the public meetings were reviewed and discussed. The committee expressed interest in the planning process as well as a willingness to participate in the public meetings. Councilmember Amon, who was on the council is the council design center representative, said the design center had recently set some goals and priorities at a strategic planning session, and he was interested to see how these goals and priorities matched up with the public vision. And Mr. Mayor, could we have a little discussion about that. Would you be willing to talk about that?
I would. Thank you, Councilman. The planning sessions are actually going to equal 4, or is it 5, Charlene?
I'm sorry, there are 5 total opportunities, I guess, there are 5 meetings scheduled, the first being the public meeting on December 6th, and then on December 7th and 8th, there are 2 additional meetings, each on December 7th at 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock with a couple of stakeholder groups, and then the same thing on December 8th. There will be a 4 p.m. and a 6 p.m., and those are a little bit more targeted to some of the downtown stakeholders, such as the businesses, the long-tenured businesses that are downtown, the government entities and nonprofit entities that also are working downtown, as well as our Latino and East African communities that are downtown as well.
Would you please bring us up to speed as to what the content of these meetings is going to be?
I'm actually going to defer that to Bruce Peterson, because he was at the last planning meeting for the downtown group. I was actually at another meeting and wasn't able to do that, so I kind of would defer that to Bruce to kind of cover the agenda for that meeting, and he's been working with that very closely along with Adam Arvidsson of the Design Center.
Thank you.
Mayor Yanish, the preliminary agenda for these meetings, primarily for the large public meeting that we're anticipating on Tuesday evening, we'll start out by giving some background on what's been done in the downtown area as far as planning, the work of the Design Center since the Main Street project occurred about 5 or 6 years ago. Discuss the status of the current plan. We'll talk about downtown access. That's still a big issue to a lot of people. We're going to ask the public to help us define what area is the central business district. There's a lot of different perceptions as to exactly what our downtown is. Then we're going to ask people to offer suggestions or their vision for future downtown improvements and downtown activities. Really, what is their vision for the future downtown? At that point, we will go through a prioritization exercise and then conclude the evening with city staff and Design Center staff being available to meet with the public and answer questions as people would have for us. And we'll use a similar format at the stakeholder meetings, but it'll be a lot more condensed. We're going to be dealing with different groups of people that are very much involved already downtown, and we'll be able to cut out some of the preliminary information. They'll be more up to speed on some of that. So looking forward to getting some good input and certainly enough information that will allow Adam and I to go back and draft a preliminary plan and bring back to the council late January.
Thank you, Bruce, for the update. I would make a public plea to the citizens out there to please come to this public meeting and let us hear your input and what you think our downtown should be. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item number 6, miscellaneous for information only. Staff presented information regarding economic analysis of micropolitan statistical areas. In the most recent analysis by Polycom Corporation, the city of Willmar was ranked 70th out of 576 micropolitan statistical areas across the country. The only micropolitan statistic area in Minnesota to rank higher was the Faribault and Northfield area. And also, Councilmember Amon expressed concerns about the recently surfaced HRA property special assessment issues and agreement. He said it would be advisable for the city and HRA to meet to discuss the matter and suggested a possible moratorium on additional HRA housing. And unless there are comments, Mr. Mayor, I would move to file the minutes.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to file the minutes of the Community Development Committee report dated November 17th, 2011. Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. That motion carries. We move on to the next item, which is consideration of the final plat for Evans Addition. Bruce?
Mayor Yanish, members of the council, Evans Addition is a subdivision of one large parcel that spans the block between 7th Street and 6th Street Southwest. The property is owned by Bruce Evans. He's proposing that it be split into 2 lots. One of the lots would contain the existing home. The utilities requested that a utility easement be added. That has been done. The Planning Commission has approved the final plat, and it's a recommendation of staff that the council approve the final plat as well.
Move to approve.
Second.
Kevin, what do I need to do here? We have a move and a second to...
Standard motion.
Okay. To accept the final plat of Evans Addition. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That motion carries. Number 14, consideration of the final plat for the Terwisha Addition.
Mayor Yanish, members of the council, Terwisha Addition is a 4-lot plat at the intersection of Lakeland Drive and Willmar Avenue. The owner of the property is John Terwisha. 3 of the lots were platted previously, and an additional piece of property adjacent to these 3 lots is being added to the plat. Additionally, there will be an outlot that serves and provides access to the back portion of the common interest community. It will be owned by the association and so maintained. The Planning Commission approved the final plat with the condition that the declarations be recorded at the same time as the plat. It's a recommendation of staff that the council approve the final plat with that same condition.
So moved.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded to approve the final plat of the Tuition Addition with conditions. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. That motion carries. This time, I think we'll move into the rescheduling of the January and February council meetings. Charlene, would you like to explain that to us?
Sure. The council meetings are typically scheduled for the first Monday and the third Monday of the month. It just so happens that the first 3 council meetings all coincide with holidays: January 2nd, the New Year's Day holiday, January 16th, Martin Luther King, and February 20th, President's Day. So would recommend that those council meetings be rescheduled to the Tuesdays of January 3rd, January 17th, and February 21st.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Does that take a motion?
Yeah, just a motion and a second. Yep.
A motion and a second to approve the rescheduling of the January and February council meeting dates. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That motion carries. And we'll move into the announcement of the council meeting, council committee meeting dates. Councilman Anderson, Finance.
Finance Committee will meet Monday, the 28th at 5 p.m. here, and that will be a discussion of the budget.
And all council people to come prepared with additions and subtractions to the budget.
Come prepared to grill the mayor.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
That's still is just a finance meeting, right? I mean, so the other 4 of us can't speak?
Right. It is a finance committee meeting, yes.
It is, but I think we have typically allowed everyone to speak at
Public
that
forum.
meeting. But the Finance Committee will be doing the voting and will make the recommendation to the full council. So we will allow council members to speak.
We have notified the Tribune that all council will be in session.
That the
You
full-
have, you said?
That the full council will be in session?
Correct.
Okay. Does that negate what Councilman Anderson was saying?
No, but I mean, it's time to ask the city attorney. I think that opens up for people to talk because we're doing that. Letting them know a quorum will be present.
Should be published as a council meeting.
Should be published as a council meeting, okay.
And it has, or will be.
Yes.
So
it will
then
be
we all
published.
vote on issues?
No, the committee would still be the voting committee. but it does allow the council members to express their concerns, ask questions and such, but the recommendation will still come from the committee.
Okay. So everyone knows that date and has marked it down? Yes. Okay. And then we will work into the Public Works. Councilman Reese?
No meeting scheduled.
No meeting scheduled. And Community Development, Councilman Dockman?
December 1st, I would assume that's the first Thursday.
And that would be 4:45 at
Yes, sir.
Meeting Room 1?
4:45.
Are there any miscellany? I have a couple. I would like to announce that the COPS meeting will be held at the Fire Hall at 7 p.m. on December 6th. And I'd also just like to make a comment on the fact that I attended the turkeys going to Washington, D.C., so stay tuned and see if we can see some familiar faces on the television. The young people that are going, 4 young people, should be meeting the president, I would think, is what I have heard. So, any further miscellany? Councilman Billy?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank the scouts here. They stayed the whole meeting, very attentive, listened to everything that was going on, and just like to thank you for being here.
Thank
and
you.
especially like to thank their scoutmasters for all the time they put in volunteering and for what they do for these boys. So,
thank you very much. Councilman Dockman?
Mr. Mayor, I just want to emphasize the importance of the COPS meetings and the December 6th meeting. I'm not sure who the chief has coming to that, but I can tell you that at the last COPS meeting there were only 6 people there, and the 3 officers that came did a marvelous job talking about the DARE program, and so the public is really missing out by not attending these meetings at the fire hall. They're very well done.
Thank you very much. Councilman Christensen?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I, too, would like to thank the scouts for coming tonight and to explain a little. The meeting may seem a little dry with all the motions and resolutions that are made, but these are all formulated at committee meetings. We have 4 committee meetings every other week that we don't have a council meeting, and that's where the meat of the issues are discussed, and then the resolutions and motions are formed at that meeting and brought to this council meeting. And so it may seem a little dry, but if you attended a committee meeting, you'd hear a little more about the issues and why we're discussing a road project or whatever it be. Just wanted to make sure you kind of understood that. And again, thank you for coming.
Thank you, boys. Councilman Ahman?
I failed to get your attention when we were talking about the Charter Commission, Mr. Mayor, and I just hope that with the changes that they're recommending, that if we have any, this would have been the night to discuss any controversial issue that anybody has on it. We can do it at the hearing also, but I sure hope that we get communication going between the council if there's any issues that are not looking particularly favorable to their opinion. And I hope that we reach a consensus here prior to the expense of going through the publishing. And of course, also with the citizens' input, that may change too. But from what I see, I concur with the group and what they came up with in Charter Commission, and I don't see any major changes that are going to affect either parties. But I would sure like to hear from any other councilman or the mayor on any of those issues prior to that meeting. If you want to sit down and talk about it one-on-one, I'd be glad to do that.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion or comments under miscellany? If not, I will have a motion
to adjourn.
A motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. We are adjourned.